Hey, YouTubers and friends. So good to see all of you here tonight. Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jazz, Dano, and I. We have two very special guests tonight. A couple of Nugget shooters from the sunny lands of Arizona. We have Bill from the Nugget Shooter Journal and Tammy from the Nugget Shooterett. So don't go away. We'll be right. Oh my God, I open it again. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday Night Hangout Live. With your hosts, Ed Marvin, Toledo Jazz, and Dano. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
They won't even text me back. So.
Jesse, where are you? Jesse,
Here I
Dano.
am. What happened to you? Where'd you go?
Same place I always am.
There I am.
Oh, how are you two tonight?
Hello, Dano.
Living large.
Living large. Well, it's good to have you back, Dano. You've been MIA so often because of work. It's good to have you back.
Because of this wonderful virus, I'm 40 hours a week till further notice.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Maybe
Don't feel
you'll
good, that's for good.
get some rest, much needed rest.
Yes, definitely.
Jesse, how are you, brother? You're on mute. Okay.
I'm doing good. I'm hunkered down in my bunker. Hunkered in my bunker.
Finer than frog hair.
Huh?
Finer than frog hair.
Yep, sir. Staying away from people, especially all them youngsters, man. I carry all this deadly crap.
That's me. I'm antisocial anyway, so I'm good.
Well, yeah, you know.
Hey, I feel you.
That's what you learn when you get my age.
Plus, with my buddies Ed and Jesse, I'm not nowhere else.
Yeah, right.
I have 3 grandkids at the house now every day.
Sack of germs.
From like 4 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. Since the schools are closed down for a minimum of 3 weeks. So, yeah, so hopefully I don't come down with something. I know how kids are. But we have a whole slew of the Flash fam with us tonight. Welcome,
we sure
everybody.
Hello. Oh,
Brian was like
Bruno.
3 hours early.
Bruno. Patrick Moore, David Villa. How you guys doing? Hey, BJ the Crow.
Who's
Yep,
in the
Getting better for you.
Teddy.
Teddy C.
There's Top Cat. What's up, Todd?
Oh yeah, did I see you? Again? Smith's Gold. How you doing, Jeff?
Nugget Brain. Wayne Peterson's in the house.
Of course,
Brian, I just might do that. I might call in tonight, Brian. I don't know. We'll see.
Our greatest moderator, Jaron, of course, is here.
Oh,
Joe.
yep. GoPro Unlimited, Mr. Lodak, the world's best moderator. Couldn't get any better than him.
Dwight
But
Wooten.
he's probably one of them carriers, though, isn't he? Isn't he in that age group? Isn't he in that age group where he can carry it? Stay away. Exploring with a Nug. Nah, just messing with you. Bob Denault.
Snorkel Pirate, good to see you. Our
Oh,
friend
yeah, welcome
David
back.
from Tasmania. Hi, Dave and Debbie.
Oh,
Terry
hello,
Curry.
Matt. PG Prospecting.
Maybe we could switch chairs.
Keithie, speaking of Keithie, metal detecting and AK. He's our guest next week, so
Oh, cool.
we'll be talking about all his different channels,
Right.
I'm sure.
Right. He's new and upcoming.
Pirate prospecting, you betcha. Hashtag Flash Fam.
Gold
That's
Rush
our
Tasmania. How's it going?
There's Y Gold.
yeah.
Oh, why gold? How's it going? Yeah.
Oh, and Treasure Vixens are in the house. Hello, Rose.
Oh, made it in.
Hey, Treasure Vixens.
Wonder if
How are
they're
you?
both
New video
there.
just a little bit ago. Rose
Yep, I just watched Rose's video.
You're
With her
welcome,
kids.
Solely Saving History. You're welcome, and it's our pleasure. It's like sitting around every Tuesday night with family.
Yep.
Hey, Jeffrey, outdoor influencer, good to see you. Bob Denault,
Tansy Gold Prospecting. Gold day, everyone. Gold day to you too.
hey, Isaiah, how's you doing up there in Oregon? We're coast to coast and worldwide. Gotta love
Yeah. What's up?
it. Arthur Moorhead,
we
good
got
to
West
see you.
Coast. We got West Coast LBPA in the house tonight.
Yeah, good to see you, Top Cat, West Coast and Southeast.
Yeah.
Jeff, I see we have an awesome group of people here. I
Yeah.
can't think of a better way to spend a weekday.
You bet. I had Thursday, I had my auction, right? And a few of the fame went in there and helped me out there, and I appreciate it. It was a pretty good auction.
Oh man, doggone it, I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, bummer. I was hoping to see you, but I understand. But that's Wyland's auction services group on Facebook. But he'll come out and do auctions. You can send him stuff to do auctions for you. Pretty reasonable. He does a nice job. I have fun. I buy too much from him, but
Hey,
he
Michael
sold some stuff for me.
Anderson.
Did a good job. I was pleasantly surprised. I got more than I was anticipating. So I appreciate anyone that was there. And Chris, you did a good job.
Wendy, how are you?
Wendy, you mean Wendy from the Wayward Home
yeah.
for Lost Prospectors? Or that Home
Wendy's.
for Wayward Prospectors?
Yeah, that Wendy.
Yeah, hi Wendy.
Good to see our Tasmanian friends here too.
Michael Anderson.
805 Gold Prospecting. Good to see you.
What a crowd.
Excellent.
Randy, Scotty, Tony. What's up? Shaw's Prospecting.
Hey, Ron. Good to see you, buddy. Well, I hope everyone's faring well through this
pandemic.
Yeah, it may be a pandemic, but
the blind panic.
A lot of hype.
Fear mongering.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
I agree.
Well, I mean,
relax, people. Panic kills.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah, panic kills. It sure does, man. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Feel like crap, and then it'll be over.
Yep. Joe Statsakonis, how are you tonight?
I don't think he said anything.
I don't know. Joe, do you have some to give away? We're glad to give some away if you have some you want to donate.
Oh, tell you what, Joe, because we love you so much, I'm going to send you this piece of paper towel. It's not quite as soft as TP, but I need that in my truck.
So and then this Corona thing. It's unfortunately, I guess they've canceled all the GPA gold shows for the rest of the year?
No, they didn't cancel. They postponed.
Okay,
postponed.
They postponed them till next year.
Not really.
Whatever.
We got to be positive, Jesse.
We don't
Got to
have
be
to go to the
positive.
hotel. We're still going to have a party.
We can be realistic and pessimistic in here.
But it's just, you know.
Well, usually we don't have them till October here anyway.
Right, but here's what I'm thinking. We see it in one plane, the plane of the show itself. Those guys see it, okay, we've made all this logistic stuff for this specific time. Now if we postpone it, that means we have to do this all over again and get everything because who knows if the venue is going to be available again. Maybe other people have it. So there's a lot more involved. So
there's a whole lot on their side.
Well,
I'm just trying to be positive.
I'm just saying, I think the best thing, just, you know, let's just move on. And if they come back, they come back. If they don't, they'll be back next year.
Right.
You know?
Right.
No, it's not like we could protest.
Yeah, I hear you.
Or do anything that would cause them to come back sooner than they were able to. So,
I understand.
I wouldn't want to pressure them into saying, "Oh, you got to come back."
I'm just trying to be positive.
It's fine. I'm being realistic.
And as a flash bash, it's still go as of now.
Right. As of now, when it comes to that point where we have to decide one way or another, we'll make that decision. Right now, we don't. Right now, it'd be jumping the gun as far as I'm concerned.
The shit ain't gonna last that long, but
no.
Well, you know, either way, with the administration in the office, not saying I'm on the Trump train or not, I'm just saying the way it's been, they'll take anything they can and throw it out of proportion to try and cause harm to this administration. Now, in previous administrations with the H1N1, a lot more people died in the U.S. alone, and all we heard was praise.
It got shoved under the carpet.
So what's the
I don't.
And like Bill said,
I don't put it off on the government as much as I put it off on the media. The way the media portrays any event determines how we as
media sucks.
Yeah,
it's nothing but a propaganda machine.
How we react to it. So
it's
I don't even about media. Media is what's driven this panic. Media is what generates the fear of this stuff. I mean, we've had worse stuff than this happen. You know, I've been around for a long time. We've had a lot worse catastrophes than this. This is, at this point, doesn't seem to be that bad. Not that it isn't, because I think it is. So I do my precaution. I stay away from everybody.
We're anti-social anyway, Jesse. So,
right. You know. I mean, it doesn't affect me in the sense that I can handle being in the house for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Not a problem.
I'll just get more work
where it becomes a problem is if I have to go to the store and get things that aren't there because everybody else took them thinking that they were going to run out. So so they're here. One of the things they said
ran
recently,
out temporarily. Trucks are still moving. Once those trucks stop moving.
Absolutely. We're doing good. We're fine. There's food. It's there.
Once those trucks stop moving and those trains stop moving,
then we got a problem.
When we're getting to, okay,
right.
I should have had more than 3 weeks worth of food. I should have had a year's worth.
Here's my inconvenience. Because of the situation, they're going to allow people my age. I'm going to be 70 this year. They're going to allow people of my age come in early in the morning to get their groceries so they're not around a bunch of young people. My problem is I don't get up early in the morning, dude. I'm retired. I stay up late. I get up closer to 11 o'clock or so, So how'd that help me? That didn't help me.
Now,
You
Nugs and Jeff brings up some really good points. Nugs says, I bet you remember the Great Depression, and you made it through that, Jesse. So
not quite that old. I'm a boomer,
and you made it through the War of 1812, so you're good and you're still here.
Well, and you see Moses part the sea, dude.
Yeah.
I made it through dinosaurs.
Hey, I always say I'm older than dirt, man.
Hi, Rodney. How are you doing?
I just think that people need to stop panicking and quit believing everything they see on the media. The media is the worst thing you can believe in.
And remember, anyone who wants
research, just like going out and looking for a treasure, you got to do your own research. You can find stuff, but you still got to go out and do your own research. Do your own research.
And I have to say, anyone who puts a wedge between the people to divide us, they are not our friends.
Nope.
Right. The only division I see is coming from the media itself.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that.
Okay, now that we got that over with. You knew it was going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah. It's that kind of stuff going on.
Did you do your shout out, Jesse?
I did. You mean to Wyland's Auction Services group on Facebook? Yes, I did.
So we're ready for the guest.
Yeah.
Are we? Yeah. Please, everybody, ladies and gentlemen out there, please welcome our guests, Tammy and Bill, the Nugget Shooters.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, everybody.
How are you guys tonight? All right.
Doing quite well, and we do have toilet paper for sale if anybody needs it.
Oh, that's funny because you know that. Did you read that article about that guy that donated $17,000 worth of toilet paper to people in retirement centers and old folks' homes?
No, I didn't.
Okay, the way that, and this is what sucks about the media, as I was just saying. The way the headline read made it sound like the guy was being a good Samaritan. Oh my God, this young kid went out and bought $17,000 worth of toilet paper to donate, right? But if you read the article, you get down towards the last couple paragraphs when it talks about how he had bought it, tried to sell it on eBay, and they were getting ready to bust him. So in order to keep him getting busted, he donated all that toilet paper. Nice guy.
Yeah.
But we're going to praise him in our headline, We're going to make him sound good. Okay. So,
are you done, Jesse?
Well,
man, I'm watching this video chat roll, man. There are a lot of people I know here, and I just want to say howdy to everybody.
Yes,
we'll
thank
do
you.
it.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
The stage is all yours, Bill.
Yeah.
Well, what you want to know?
Go ahead and say hi to him. Give him a shout out. You see your friends in there, give him a shout out.
Shout out to everybody on there. I mean, geez, there's too many for me to do individually.
No, well, hey, we took the time to do it.
I'm doing the group shout out. That's
All
generic and well done.
And y'all all know it's my first live stream, so I'm just trying to go with the flow. So bear with me.
Okay, we got Duke Outdoors. Hello. And we got Teddy C. I mean, this stuff's it's out of control, man.
Yeah, no, Teddy C's one of our friends too. He comes in all the time, gives us a bunch of crap, and we like him.
Yeah.
What's that? Exploring with Nug, is Vanquish a sponsor? No, absolutely not. There we go. That's a perfect question to start out. I am not sponsored by anybody. I have been teaching people for many years how to work metal detectors and how to use them. Yes, MineLab is my huckleberry. But that doesn't mean your detector isn't as good as a MineLab. The detector is only as good as the person learns how to use it. And there's a lot of good brands out there. I just happen to use MineLab as my detector because I am a gold hunter. And for me, MineLab gives me the best machines that will work in my area, which may not be true in your area. The only sponsors I have on YouTube are you good folks that follow me and my Patreon page. And other than that, MineLab is very careful about that, and I do not sponsor anybody. All I do is show what I use.
Cool. Victoria's Oregon or Bus wants to know, how long do you usually take to sig out those little nuggets? In other words, from the time you get your first little inkling that there could be a nugget there, how long does that process usually take you?
For me to find my first nugget took a year.
No. I mean, when you're out hunting, when you get a signal.
Right. When I get a signal, what?
Yeah. So how long does it usually take to sig out those little nuggets? I'm assuming she wants to know that, you know, how much time it takes you by the time when you get the signal to actually find your nugget, like your process. I'm assuming that's what she's meaning.
Not very long. I use the 2 scoop method, and you see a lot of people ask me why I don't use a pinpointer and why Tammy doesn't use a pinpointer. It's easier for us to scoop up the dirt and go over the coil and look for that signal because we don't have to be real careful where we dig out here. It's not like doing relic hunting where you're on somebody's property and you can't take a pick and just rip a hole in the ground because you got to put the grass back. We've done some of that too, but we dig out a circle around the target as not to damage the target, and that's important. And then we use the scoop method, and it's really easy to pinpoint with most detectors once you learn your detector. And as we talk tonight, I'm going to get more into learn your detector.
Learn your tools.
It's the key. It doesn't matter if you got a MineLab. It doesn't matter if you got a Garrett. It doesn't matter if you got a White's. It doesn't matter if you have a Nocta. And I'm a multi-line dealer on top of this. So I use what works best for me. And I recommend that to everybody. But as far as recovering those small nuggets, some of them take a while. Because if you got a little bitty piece, this is a little bitty one. And I found some with my GPZ 7000. I had to call Tammy over with the Gold Monster to find it. Because I get the darn thing on the side, and then the GPZ wasn't there anymore. So I'm like a half hour trying to find this little bitty piece of gold. Like, Tammy, you can have it if you can find it.
And I call it the team nugget.
So she comments again and says, it looks really simple to watch you, but pros usually make everything simple. And that goes right back to what we were talking about earlier, how you just have to practice and learn your machine. Once you do that, then yeah, I guess you would make it look simple to other people.
David Villa says, keywords, learn.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always preach, Jesse, learn our tools, learn your tools. Bill brought it up. Exactly. And he also said finding his first nugget was a year.
Right. Was that a year of literally going out looking for a nugget, or from the time you just picked it up?
It's slightly embarrassing, but we'll go into this.
Okay.
It was a year of doing what everybody else does. They buy a detector. They go through, well, this detector doesn't work, and they buy another detector to sell the one they had. Then they buy another detector. I was on my 3rd detector, I think. And I met a fella named Jim Strait. It was a brief meeting. And Jim is one of my heroes. He's gone now. Rest his soul. But he told me to always check my own tailings piles. Okay, so what I was dry washing back then. So I'd go out and I'd hunt for 2 or 3 hours. I dig tacks, wire, boot nails, and BBs. So I'd go back to the dry washer. And this went on for almost a year. And one time I had dry washed all day long. I loaded up my concentrates. I got everything ready to go. I loaded up my shovels. Now I'm walking past this tailings pile, my header pile the whole time, right? Okay, I
Mhm.
picked up the battery. It was a Keen puffer. Picked up my battery, walked up. I got ready to get in the truck, and I went, you know what? I think I'm going to go check that tailings pile. And I think I had a whites detector back then. It might have been a gold bug. But I walked down to the tailings pile that I've walked by 12 times loading my gear. Okay. And I swung it over to the top of that pile and it screamed. And I looked down and it was as obvious as an acorn laying in the water. It was right there on top of the pile. It weighed about a pennyweight, but I didn't see that nugget until that detector heard it. I'd have walked away because it was dirty. But as soon as the detector sounded off, I saw it was a nugget. And that made me go. Well, I started looking around at all those tailing piles around me. And from then on, it's been pretty productive for me.
Cool. What was that question? Oh, again, Victoria's gonna have a lot of questions for you tonight. She asks a lot of questions, and I love it. She wants to know, what is the percentage of bird shot to nuggets do you find in the desert? And do you get terribly discouraged finding a lot of lead or nails?
Yes, and yes. And the percentage of bird shot is I probably dig. Oh, geez, I don't want to try to give up. I probably dig sometimes 25, sometimes 100 pieces before I get a nugget. I dig all targets. I know that's hard to fathom if you're a coin and relic hunter, because it's a totally different ball game. Totally different ball game. We dig everything because discrimination is not accurate in the desert because you have so much mineralization in the ground.
Right.
Okay, so there could be a little nugget or a BB laying next to a hot rock, and it's going to give you a signal saying that's just iron. But if you don't kick the hot rock out of the way, which is iron, you don't know the target's there. So we dig all targets, and probably more than a lot of coin and relic hunters do, which means we suffer through the BBs. We dig a lot.
Right.
And part of Tammy's first thing, she'll tell you about the BBs, but she's stuck with it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I mean, I got frustrated many times. There were stuff I told him I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like when we started out, I'm like, this is hard. And all I do is dig trash. I go out here, dig a bunch of trash all day and come home with nothing. I went through all the frustrations and emotions of metal detecting, but somehow I just kept going back for more. I guess I enjoyed it enough to keep going back for more, but yeah. I cuss them out. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. And I'm like, yeah, people do this. But it's an enjoyable and it's a hobby. I do enjoy it. It's good exercise. I love being out in nature. And it's nothing better than finding something that's been in the ground for millions of years
Right.
that you found yourself. So it's an amazing thing to me, like taking it all in and learning about all the gold products in itself, all the different ways to do it. It's just a lot. I'd never known much about it until 2 years ago.
So once you found your first gold nugget, you were hooked.
Yeah.
You had the
You want to
fever.
hear this story, huh? Her first gold nugget came with chiggers. I'll let her tell it.
Everybody knows that story. It was horrific. Yes, it was. Bill took me to Prescott, and we climbed up this big mountain, and to me it was big, anyways. And never thought of chiggers, I guess. So I sat down and was digging on the ground, and then he was helping me to learn how to metal detect for gold, and he had a signal, and he said, "Come over here and see what it is. I don't know if it's gold or not, but I want you to have a feel for it and what it sounds like." So I did, and went over it, and I dug it up, and it was a nugget, and I was all excited, whatever. But I went home with chiggers, and they didn't chiggers at all. And on my back, my legs, my arms. And so it was a horrific experience for my first metal detecting, learning about gold and getting a nugget. But of course, I decided to go back at it again after I healed. I still have scars from them chiggers. So yes, that was my first experience. And then when I found my first nugget out here at LSD without his help at all.
That means little San Domingo.
And it looked like a little heart too. I was very excited. So
Cool.
from now on, I've been doing it.
Whoa, what happened?
I don't know.
Well, you're good
The
here.
answer, okay, the answer to the second part of that question, trash, nails and whatnot. Yes, we dig a lot of those. But when you're out in the middle of the desert and you find a spot, and I like to call the nails relics and the cans because it makes me feel better about it. But it tells me that the old timers were there.
Right.
Yeah, that does.
And that goes right back to the research you guys do. I mean, it's all the same. It's just
Right,
a
you
different
gotta-
section of what we do.
Right. So I imagine if you find the older your cans, like lead seam cans and stuff like that laying out there, you know, no one's been out there since those guys have been out there. And those are 1800s, you know, people back then, you know, with that type of. So yeah, I can glass too. I imagine.
Oh, lots of glass. Oh my goodness, so much.
But it's
You can
broken.
tell-
Yes.
I've got some cool bottles, some old owl drug bottles from Tucson, stuff like that. But 90%, some cowboy rode by or the prospector had a bad day and he popped a couple caps into the bottle. You know, so most of them are broken out here.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find a privies because the ground's so hard here in most places. They didn't dig a lot of privies. They just went and pooped in the wash somewhere.
Okay. Well, how about like no bottle dumps or can dumps or like.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We have seen some huge can dumps. I showed her first can dump at the Bonanza mine.
Yeah, and there is a bottle dump right across the road here in Morristown.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of shards of broken glass, but not a single whole bottle.
I think we got one though. We got one because I have it on the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the bottle is, but yeah.
So you've only been. Well, I think Mickey has one more question here for you. Get it up here. Oh, she wants to know: you guys ever use dowsing rods to help you find areas of prospect or point you towards the gold? I know how you read the area, Bill. I've been watching your videos a little bit here lately, and what you look for to read what happened in the past. But she wants to know if you use dowsing rods.
I have. Okay.
Okay.
I can use a set of dowsing rods to find electrical lines in the ground. I can find sewer lines in my property management job. I can find water lines. You can bury a quarter, a dime, a nickel in whatever order you want, and I can still identify which one's which. But I'm not skilled enough. When I get out in the gold fields and I go, okay, I want to find gold or I want to find nuggets, boom, they cross. You know, because I'm standing right in the middle of all this gold.
No,
I have
right.
not been able to refine my little brain to be able to do that. I would love to, and
I've been
Ask it to find you. Ask it to find you a certain weight nugget.
a certain weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've never tried that, but that's so difficult.
I
too.
mean, maybe I'll try that. I mean, you never know.
Find
I mean,
me
I
pound
would
nugget.
be willing if somebody wanted to come out here and show me how to douse single nuggets or whatnot in one of my patches. Bring it on. I would love to see that. I would love to work with somebody that could do that.
it wouldn't be me because I don't do dowsing. I don't even touch them. But Ed, on the other hand, he's into that.
I think it's pretty cool. I remember when
I've been
Bill was
using-
showing me, I had never heard of dowsing before until I'm learning all this gold stuff. And he had buried stuff under the ground, dime and quarter or nickel, whatever. And I was having some luck by that. Now, have I done it with gold? No, but I'm curious about it. I mean, it's interesting to me. I mean, so yeah.
Go through life with your mind wide open.
Oh, you have to.
I agree.
I do douse. I use a pendulum too. For a while it freaked me out, you know. Didn't know if I was dabbling where I shouldn't dabble or not, and I haven't for the past few times. I've been trying to get to know my Nox 8 more, and been my Fisher Gold Pro, my Gold Bug Pro. So I've been kind of getting away from the rods and my pendulum lately, but they're always in my backpack.
Yeah, we got some in the truck all the time. A friend of mine, Wyatt, years ago, we were looking for lines in the park, and I did the nickel dime quarter penny thing in the ground, and I handed him a set. This guy's just like an old cowboy, right? So he walks over the first one and it crosses. He wasn't impressed by that. And then he thought about the quarter as hard as he could and walked over and got the quarter. He threw them away like they were on fire. It's like you said, it scared the crap out of him. He goes, "This is witchy stuff. I ain't doing it."
Right. So our friend Chrissy, outdoorsy gal, she asked.
I know her.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sorry, y'all. I'm looking at y'all, then I keep trying to look at the screen and reading the comments. So. Just like
no
I
worries.
Said, it's all news to me, so I'm reading and looking.
No worries. We understand. I'm sure they do too.
I hope so.
So I saw, I can't find her question. She had a question here a minute ago.
Well,
oh yeah,
the curio cabinet.
Yeah, oh, eye candy, right?
Yeah, most of it is his, but I have a few in there myself.
Jeff from Gold Pro Unlimited was asking, what's your favorite find?
My favorite find, I'll let Tammy go in after this, but my favorite find was I was invited out to a private claim to do some claim evaluation, which I do for people because the government requires that. So supposedly you got to get an expert to say blah, 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 and then they can get the claim and do the bond for state trust land. And I went out and the guys put me in a wash, and right away I found a half-ounce piece and a couple smaller ones. He goes, "Well, okay, they're going to feed me steak dinner too, right?" So he goes, "Well, okay, we're done here. Let's go try this spot over here." Well, he took me to a spot where there's a hillside coming down, and it's covered in rusty, nasty-looking quartz, the kind that turns a gold prospect around big time. And went down into this flat, and the flat was only as big as I don't know, a 20 by 40 area. And then it dropped into a waterfall and went down like 200 feet. So you didn't want to go down there. And it was a really cool area. And I had this is back in early 2000s. I had a PP 3000, I think. And he had a gold bug too. Loved that machine. And he was up on the side of that hill. He goes, "Well, I'm going to hunt up here. You hunt down there." I said, "No, you take my machine, hunt down here. The gold's down here." He goes, "Oh, no, I've got a couple little pieces up here." I said, "Yeah, but the big ones are down below." So he kind of blew me off and said, "Okay, you go ahead and hunt. And remember now, I'm getting steak dinner and I get to keep all the gold I find. And these are good friends. So it gets difficult sometimes in those sticky So I'm walking a little ways. I've dug no trash yet at this place, right? So I get this signal. It's a good signal. I dig down about a foot. And I think I had a 16-inch coil on that thing. I dig it up, and it's a rock about the size of a potato, shaped like a potato. It was just laced with gold all through it. Like you see on some 911 prospects.
Right.
Okay. And I was freaked out. So he comes down the hill and he looks at it. I go, "Here, it's yours." He goes, "No, you keep it, blah, blah, blah." That kind of aggravated me, but he's an honest man. You know how that all works. Okay. So then I said, "Here, take my detector, hunt here. I'll go up on the hillside with your detector." He goes, "No, we need to see what's in this deposit right here." I said, "You don't want me to do this?" He said, "Yes, I do." So I didn't walk but from, I don't know, 10 feet. And I always tell people, if your metal detector, I don't care what brand it is, makes a repeatable signal, dig that signal.
It's because it's there, whatever it is.
Yeah, the darn detector's telling you, "Hey, bro, there's something down here." Okay, why walk away? Because you think it's trash? Okay, so anyway, I'm going over the spot and I hear out of the machine. That sound I never heard before. That's why I remember it so well. I go, "What?" So I did the monkey dance like we all do when you go around it, try to pinpoint it.
Right.
No signal. So I got right back where my footprints were. And I went over that spot again and I went, like that. I was excited. So I moved some dirt about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches off the top. And then it went, whoa, like that. I went, oh my God, because with a pulse induction machine, a reverse signal, upside down signal means a deep target. So I'm digging and digging and digging, and I get down to hit solid rock, and by then my coil's just screaming when I shove it in the hole. We got to dig big round hole because you got a big coil. If you can't get the big coil in the hole,
Right.
you're halfway down the hole and you're thinking it's deeper. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm shoving this thing in the hole and I hit rock. I'm going, oh man. So I dig around it and I got a pick with about, I don't know, close to a 3-foot handle on it. I'm prying on it. And it snaps. And my chin hits the edge of the hole. I'm bleeding through my beard. He's up in the hill going, what's wrong down there? And I said, my pick broke. You know, and I go, you got a pick? And he's got this little short pick, right? For digging with a gold bug too. So what happens when you put your hand in a hole with a short pick? You lose all the skin off your knuckles. So I didn't do that. I went up to the truck and got another pick and I came down and I pried that rock loose. I was mad. I pulled it out of the hole and, like a big tough guy, and I threw it. Well, it weighed 27 pounds. So it only went like 2 feet and went bump like that. And I grabbed my coil, shoved it in the hole. There was nothing there. And I went, I just kind of looked over at that rock. And by then he's coming down the hill because he could hear it screaming. I went over the top of it. It just screamed, about blew my head off with the headphones. And he had the gold bug too. And we washed it off with our bottled water. And there's a piece on one end of gold showing about the size of your thumbnail. And the other end, there was like 3 or 4 little veinlets showing. And he checked it with his gold bug too. It screamed. It just screamed over the whole thing. I'm going, oh my God, this thing's full of gold, man. I said, you got a continuity meter up in your truck? He goes, sure. He went and got it. We touched it on one end. This thing's like, I don't know what it was, like 18 inches long or 9, something like that. I can't remember the exact distance. But one end to the other, the needle went bam. And
wow.
doorstop nugget. Okay. And he wouldn't take the gold from me off his own claim. And I was a little upset. I ate my steak and went home. And I started putting it on my forum. I have a nugget shooting forum at my website, nugget.com. And I called it the doorstop. And I used it for a doorstop. I'd lie to you not. And I had no idea how much gold was in it because we didn't do a specific gravity. The darn thing was too big. And so finally I sent him the smaller one. He got mad at me for a minute, but then he had a friend of his that was a veterinarian x-ray it. It's the coolest thing he ever saw. The gold shows up as like opaque white inside this gray rock, which is a quartz. It was all solid. Good quality stuff. They sliced it up and made cabs out of it.
Yeah.
Then he wanted the big one. Okay. And that I tried to give to him. And I gave him the other one. And he tried to pay me several $1,000s for it. And I said, no, I need a doorstop. And he hung up on me. And a while later, he called me back again. He goes, look, I'll give you this much money for it. It was a ridiculous amount. And I said, no, good doorstop. He hung up on me again. I called him back a day later. I go, you know what? I'll sell this to you. He goes, what do you want for it? He goes, I'll give you $5,000 for it. I said, no, give me $800. Well, he lives like, I don't know, 60 miles from me. And he got to my house in just over 30 minutes and bought that from me and had it sliced up. And they did real well. And it turned out to be the biggest piece off their claim. Probably won't go on. Tammy's biggest nugget, I thought she was being killed by a bear when I heard her.
Not even compared to what he has found in his 30 years of prospecting. Yeah. When I found my 1 gram nugget, I have a 1 gram nugget, y'all.
Well, that's nice.
I will have to say I got quite emotional. I tried to film it, and I was so excited and emotional about it that I cut the camera off. I cut it on and then cut it off in the middle of trying to filming. So I filmed nothing of it until I was screaming for him when he was way up the wash, saying, honey, you know how I do. I scream for him. And I was screaming.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's when he came down filming me and showed the nugget in my hand. So that's my 1 gram nugget is my biggest nugget so far. I plan on getting a bigger for sure.
Well, you always got a plan for getting a bigger one.
Oh yeah.
I'm still looking for my softball size nugget. I'll find it somewhere.
Right.
Out there.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. If your detector gets over it, you never know.
You never know.
You just don't.
You know, guys, if I had a message for the people out there, I'll tell you a short story. it shows on my profile that I was on YouTube in 2014. Well, that was strictly to do some talking back and forth with Garrett over a new machine they had. I never really got on YouTube till just over a year and a half ago. And a guy named Aqua Chigger shows up out here. First Mind Lab calls me up and says, hey, we got a guy who wants to come out there and learn a gold monster and blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, cool. Who's that? And they go, well, he goes by Aqua Chigger. His name's Bo. Well, I had met Bo at one of the Mind Lab partners conferences.
Right.
I said, yeah, send him out here. So he come out, and I'm not going to go into a long story on this, but we did some filming. He got some nuggets, and we were talking, and he's chewing on a square of ramen soup with no seasoning. That's what he eats for lunch when he's so he's chewing on this thing. I'm looking at him. I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, So he asked me, he goes, you do seminars, you try to help people. He goes, why aren't you on YouTube? And the first thing I said to him was, Bo, I'm a dork. And he goes, yeah, I hear you talk to yourself over there. That's why I'm asking you, because I talk to the trees. I talk to you've watched my videos. I'm a dork. Okay. He goes, but you're an educational dork. I said, well, okay.
Right.
And I said, I just don't think I can do that. And he's eating that darn ramen soup, and he looks at me and he goes, what do you think of me? And I went, I can do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what got me on YouTube is Bo from Aqua Chigger.
And then
that's cool.
Triggered to me 9 months later. I would have never thought I'd do something like this. I tell y'all, this is totally out of my comfort zone. And when he was first started, I was like, do not put me in your videos. I don't want to be videoed. No. But as y'all can see how we've grown from that. But in the beginning, that was not something for me. But as we can see, it's changed.
I guess it is.
Bo was an excellent guest too.
Right.
Yes.
He's been on the show. Yeah, and that's something I noticed about your YouTube videos, Bill, is the fact that you are serious about your educational part of your videos, and you don't play around with that. Not that you don't play around, but you just don't play around with the educational part, which makes it, which is great, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, I've been watching your videos here lately, and told me who was going to be on. And even though I've already been subscribed to, I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos that I'm subscribed to. You know how that is.
It's the honest thing, man. I mean,
You know.
try your best.
But when he tells me who's going to be on, I'll go in and I'll go to your first video, which was your introduction, which I thought was an excellent video, good introduction, and then progressed on through and watched some of those other ones. Yeah, I liked your educational videos that you put out there. It's what's needed out there, more of that.
There is more of that needed.
Yes.
I hope I don't make anybody mad here, but part of my message has always been when I started with the GPA doing seminars and working with them and doing going to clubs and speaking and whatnot. I've always thought it funny that dealers were more like car dealers than somebody that cared about what you did with your detector when you got it. There's some beautiful technology out there. And some of the best technology offers you so many settings on your machine. And people will buy a several $1,000 detector and the dealer says, okay, good luck. And that's it.
Have fun.
Yeah. Nobody takes the time. I can't say nobody. I will say there are probably 50% of the dealers, no matter what brand you talk about. And then there's the other half. But they're willing to educate you and help you with your machine. And the biggest thing is to be willing to learn your machine, and learn every bell and whistle on it. There's not a machine out there, unless it's a knockoff machine and a fake, that all those settings do something. And if you go over to Target and you got a faint target and you hear it, say a gold nugget, you just got, like I said, just a half a sound or something. If you're new to this, I already knew there was a target there, but if you're new to this, you might have walked away from that.
Right, because it didn't seem like it was a real target.
Yes. Mess with your machine. See if you can make it louder or softer. with all those settings you got. And you do a little bit of that, and suddenly you start learning by accident. And pretty soon you're so good with that machine that it doesn't matter. You could give a guy a bounty hunter or a GPX 5000 or a Garrett ATX or a Nocta, you name it. If you learn your machine, you're going to be better than the guy that doesn't. Simple as
Right,
that.
that was one of the things that I when I first got interested in metal detecting. One of the things that I had heard people talking about was, you know how the stories go. You know, all these people with their brand new machines running around, they're getting stuff, and they're not getting nothing big or nothing valuable. There comes this guy with his old beat up white, coin shooter or whatever, this old, 1950s metal detector, pulling out nuggets, pulling out, this or that, and finding all the good stuff, So and it's because he knows his machine, he knows his piece of equipment, he knows how to run it right. So he's gonna find yeah, I got one of those, David. I got a Radio Shack one.
Yeah, and
That's my first one.
That's what I want to help people with.
Right. Learn your machine, learn your equipment. Gold Adventures with Raven and Smacker.
Raven.
That's Raven. She has a question. I have a question for Bill. I hunt with my gold machine, Gold Monster 1000, in very heavy black sand area. Should I put it on discriminate or leave it auto one deep? Thank you.
Okay. Discrimination, and especially on some of the newer machines, is pretty accurate. And I don't use discrimination on any machine other than coin and relic, because you find reasons to use coin and relic machines. You have to discriminate. Well, it's the same thing in gold prospecting. If you're in a spot where you cannot run your machine any other way but in discriminate to your targets, what are you losing? Okay, if you're in an area where you don't need to discriminate and you use it, you are losing. That makes sense. So in an area with a bunch of tin or broken cans and crap like that, or an area with a lot of black sand, if your machine has to be turned all the way down to a sensitivity of 3 or 4, where you're only getting like that much depth, why not put it in discriminate where you're still going to get good depth, and you might miss 1 or 2 pieces of gold, but you're going to get the majority of it.
I hope that answered your question.
Where did Tammy get her shirt? Is it from her channel?
Actually, no, Outdoorsy Gal. It's from Amazon. I ordered a few Detector shirts off of Amazon, but no, it's not my own brand or anything. But I love the few that I have. But yeah, I got it from Amazon.
Who else?
Set off the dog alarm.
Yeah, she wants to come in.
4 chihuahuas and a pit bull mastiff. So when ours goes off, you'll know it.
Did you see
a big rooster?
Jesse, did you see the questions they put in the Zoom chat?
Let me see. No,
Evidently
I didn't.
not, huh?
No, Gold Pro Unlimited. What is your favorite find?
We covered that.
Okay. There's a lot of questions here. Outdoorsy Girl, what does Nugget Shooter think of the Vanquish?
I have not used it yet. You. I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize.
She hasn't used it, but I've used the 540. I like it. Okay, for the price range it's put itself in. I mean, nobody's naive here. Okay, and it's obvious what MindLab has tried to do with that series. I think they're probably going to do it because it offers more options. It's a very smooth machine, even with a big coil. I haven't tried it with a small coil yet. It's not a gold nugget machine. I'm going to take it out and try it for gold nuggets so everybody can watch, but I'm guessing it's going to be like some of the gold nugget machines in the past that claimed they could do both, or coin relic machines that they could do both. And I've been disappointed a lot. And MindLab hasn't claimed this one will do both, but I will try it for you. But as far as hunting coins and relics, it's a good darn machine. And it's right up there with Garrett and some of the other brands out there. And it's in the same price range. So the cool thing is most dealers will actually let you come and demo a machine. So you can come out and try a machine at my shop, and I'll let you play with it. Decide if you like it or not. I got this big front end here with old buildings and stuff, and that's where I get those tax tokens and stuff. I just turn people loose out there and let them play with it. It's not designed to be a top end coin relic machine.
Right.
It's designed for the people that just want to hunt once in a while and don't want to spend $800. And I think it fits that category very well.
Kind of like the difference between Snap-on and Craftsman,
Yes.
or
Exactly.
J.A. Pan.
One will turn a nut better and won't break. One might break.
Yeah, right. But they're both turning nuts.
Yep.
So on that, like I have a Garrett 350, and that's, you know, basically that's for relics and stuff for what I do around here. I'm mostly looking for relics, coins, even heavy metals in the creeks that follow the path of the gold, right? Not necessarily looking for the gold, right? But can I find gold with that? Even if it's a ring or something like that, or what if it's a nugget in that? Wouldn't I be able to find that? Yeah.
Absolutely. But the problem with some of the lower end machines is they have trouble with the ground. Okay. As far as finding a chunk of gold, if you put it in a sandbox, it's going to hear it just fine. The problem is you get out here in this nasty ground we have to hunt.
Right.
I mean, it changes 3 times the distance between you and Tammy. And where you have to ground balance, we're ground balancing constantly.
Okay, and that's because you're in a heavily mineral area.
And it's
I have a problem with that word.
I mean, you're hearing signals that aren't there. You got to turn your sensitivity down so low that you limit how deep you can hear a target. That's the problem. Full machines are designed to be able to work through that problem.
Yeah, okay. So
but unfortunately, they're not cheap.
Right. So the doesn't mean that the cheaper machines can't find it. They're just not really designed to discriminate all the other stuff that's in the ground for you to help you find it,
or even deal with it.
Right?
But I have watched people that are good with their machine come out here with something along these lines.
Oh my gosh.
And actually find gold with it. And we all know what this is, right?
Right. Yeah, I actually have one of those too. But that's because they know their machine. They know how to use their machine. They know what it's telling them.
What you just led us back to, and I think you knew you were doing it.
I always do.
Your machine.
Right.
Because the time a guy tells you you can't take that Garrett 350 out there and find a nugget, you just pull your britches up and go do it.
That's right. Go do it. Learn how that machine's going to tell you where that nugget is.
Learn how to deal with that ground and go, okay, I got this.
Yep. And let's see, show us some of your favorite finds. Gold Pro wants.
Yeah, Jeff's been yelling that in the room.
I know. Everybody wants to see your finds.
Treasure porn.
Treasure porn. Cool plate.
Oh, cool. Farmer's automobile insurance.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And
so is that a plate that they would stick on your?
This one was creepy.
Over a little. There you go. Oh, clown.
Bozo. Is that Bozo?
He's even got a butt crack.
That's cool.
I don't know. I got some good ones. Oh, what else I got? This. Oh, God. This. Anybody know what that is?
I know what that is.
Listen.
It's a bell. But why is it all enclosed?
It's a Chinese medicine bell.
Really?
Okay, I pulled this thing out of the ground, right? And I picked it up, and it's got dirt all over it. And I shook it and went. Scared the crap out of me. I didn't know if it was a giant rattlesnake egg, which rattlesnake. But yeah, listen.
Wow.
Strange thing. You never know what you're going to find out there. It was from the Chinese miners working in Arizona a long time ago. Someone lost his medicine ball or Benoit ball, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the ones you put in your hand, for
Right.
meditation, like this.
Yeah,
Right,
it had
right.
enamel on it. It was probably real pretty blue or something.
Oh, okay. That's pretty old one, huh?
I don't know. Most of my favorite finds are gold. Okay, this one's kind of cool. This is a gold nugget before it got loose.
Move
See
it
that?
to your left and up.
Where am I at here?
To your left and up.
There we go.
There you go.
Can you see the nugget?
Yeah. You said before it got loose?
Yeah, it's in hard rock.
Oh,
And that's about a 1 gram nugget, still
nice.
right where it was born.
Very cool. Those are
Yeah,
cool.
it is. And this was found in a mine dump where they hand sorted. And a lot of these old timers hand sorted their ore. So if they didn't see big globs of gold, it went in the trash pile. And we're able to find these areas and turn up these piles to sit there with a little cooler and a couple sandwiches and find nice specimens.
Yeah, because they were looking for big nuggets, right?
Exactly. They just wanted the big stuff.
Right.
There.
Right.
That's about,
Miss
a lot more stuff, but yeah.
Miss
Okay.
Laurel.
Show you on my
Here comes
biggest
Tammy's
nugget.
gold.
Okay, I have to show you my biggest nugget.
Okay.
Sir, it's 1 gram. Can y'all see that?
Nice. Yes.
Like a nugget to me.
Looks like a nugget to me. That's
Yeah.
what we're looking for.
And then the rest of my nuggets are in my bottle. And of course, my 2 half-gram nuggets.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm proud of that.
Gold porn.
Because it's not easy finding gold.
No. Even
it
what
is-
we find is not easy finding.
I know. I love coin and relic hunting. I really do. Like I found the tax tokens out here by our house, and I
Mhm.
have found 2 silvers. I had never found silver before. I have a barber and a mercury dime. So it's exciting, and I really like relic hunting a lot too, just as much as gold hunting, maybe more. I don't know. I like them
Sure, I
both.
don't know. Yeah. Well, I like gold and I like history. So relic hunter.
We don't have history, man.
Not
know?
as much. But
We
we're-
were
that's
born in
true.
1812. Our state.
Right. You don't have your and the history is even deeper the further east you go out. We're in Ohio, so we have
I'm
some.
from Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia, and
right.
I wish I would have been metal detecting all those years, and I had time.
Oh, I bet. Miss Laurel asked if it's worth buying. She wants to know if it's worth buying a gold bug lower model 300 range to find gold over the Garrett 5000.
Who?
Ooh,
That's what I can't answer.
Who's tough to
My last
guess.
guy, if the machine is not made to hunt gold nuggets, then don't buy it to hunt gold nuggets. Garrett
Right,
makes
if
really good nugget machines. They really do. And the AT Gold and some of their other machines are quite good machines. But if it's made for coins or relics and maybe gold nuggets, stay away from those.
So if
Don't
you're
say buy a mine land, because
right,
that's not what it's about.
if your primary target is going to be gold, then you need to go with the gold finder.
Exactly.
The
because
machine that's going to
machine-
find the gold, designed to find it.
Bingo. They're made to work through the mineralization that I spoke about earlier.
Right.
And that's a
You're
lot
not
different than hunting in a park with a bunch of oak trees where the ground's pretty.
Right. You're not gonna buy a hammer just to drive a screw.
Right. Exactly.
You know, you're gonna get a screwdriver to drive a screw.
Yes.
So if you're looking to look for gold, then you get a machine that you can afford that looks for gold.
Yes. I don't know if you look over here. I have, or
I
we
see you
have,
got
I should say,
one or
several
two.
machines. Okay.
We got a few.
And there's a reason for that. Okay. Not everybody that wants to hunt gold has to have all those machines. But somebody that does this in a semi-professional manner needs to have more than one option. Okay. And this is probably pretty important to a lot of people. I use VLF machines. If you watch my videos, I've always got a small coil on my VLF.
Right.
I'm a gold hunter. Okay. So I use that. It's more sensitive than a pulse induction in most cases. Okay. So I use that to get around spots where I can't get in with the bigger coils on the pulse induction. If I'm hunting deeper than 6-8 inches, I'm using pulse induction. And that's why I have more than one machine, is to cover all those angles. And I have a GPZ 7000. I have a GP 3500 modded in Australia by a guy named Woody. And it's wicked. It's just absolutely wicked. It makes me dig deep holes and cry a lot because a lot of and I've got my Equinox 800, Tammy 600, and a couple gold monsters. And that's all we have. And I've always learned that instead of selling the machine you have to buy a newer one because you're not finding something, keep the machine you have and buy that newer one. Because sooner or later, you're going to learn you're not finding what you want to find because you haven't learned the machine you had before.
Right. Right.
We're back there. We keep going back there.
Yeah, right. You mean learn your machine, learn your tools? Yeah, absolutely. Got to learn your tools. Now, in your videos, I noticed that in one of your videos, you said that you always go out with 3 different machines. And you do that in case things change, right?
I go to a
Contingencies.
new area. All I've seen it on most times is Google Earth or a map. Or one of my biggest secrets, and okay, big secret, but yeah, this is a big secret. I know why I'm going somewhere. Okay, there's free books online.
Right.
About the placer gold deposits, not placer, placer, spelled the same. There are
They
books
both mean
online
the
by
same.
Doreen Johnson, Eldred Wilson, and by the U.S. government that tells you how the deposit formed, how old it was, what kind of gold they found, how big the biggest gold they, blah, 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 all the way down the line.
Right.
So I've already read this book. Okay, so now I've looked it up on Google Earth, and I've used a couple programs I use. I really like Gold Maps Online. You can pick the state you want. It shows you active and inactive claims, so you don't get shot in the foot. And then you also have minecash.com. And again, same thing. They're only like $35 a year. Okay, but they show you active and non-active claims. Whether they're active or not, you're learning here. Okay, so now you got the book, you're looking at the claims online, you're going, okay, well, the book says there's gold here, there's all these old claims here, and you head out there and you start hunting, but you know why you're there.
Right.
That's one of the keys. If you don't get that detector that you've learned so well over gold, you ain't gonna find it.
Yeah, you gotta, you can, and again, not only do you gotta learn your tools, you gotta learn where to use those tools.
Okay, well, you do the same thing, right?
Right, absolutely. You know,
okay,
we learn to read the creeks and rivers.
Unless you've done some research.
Right. Testing or whatever.
We all stumble into those spots, but it's better to do the research.
And unmuted.
And you'll have to excuse me for a second.
I'm still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
You got one saying they love their AT Max. That's a darn good detector too. See, it's real hard to find any detector out there. I think any company, and I really missed Tesoro. That was a whippersnapper of a company, and now they're gone, and that's kind of a bummer.
Are they actually gone, or did they change names and get bought out by somebody else?
I'm not sure. They went out of business, and I don't know what happened after that.
It seems to me,
go Tammy the store and do the guided tours, and they were closed down. couple of years
Seems to
ago.
me I heard something they were bought out and now they're under a new name or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
It's possible. I'm not sure. But Victoria from Victoria's Oregon or Bust wants. There she is. She wants to know, how did a Virginia gal end up in Arizona?
Oh boy, you want to really know that story?
My God,
She
she
is.
asked.
She asked.
I'm gonna go get a beverage while she talks to
Oh,
her.
Get us all one.
oh God.
Social media.
Really? Oh, y'all want to know?
I'll take a Pacifico.
Well, I've never done this before, but I met him through Facebook and we became friends. And then we became more privately friends through Messenger. And then I was out here in Arizona from Virginia, pretty much, which I had never, ever in my life dated someone from the internet. I used to get on my friend Nikki. I was like, you shouldn't be dating those people online. They're psycho. No, don't do that. Just meet people naturally, And I was always about that my whole life. And then I met him through the internet, literally.
Ah.
So it was like a weird Facebook love story. And I don't know. It was like, I know it sounds crazy, but it was like it was meant to be. I know that sounds insane.
I
But
can
like
understand
what.
totally.
I tell you what,
my friends
better.
are like, what if he buries you in the desert? And I'm like, well, I'll
Right.
take that chance, I guess, but I'm terrified. But my gut tells me you're supposed to go to across the country. And I was terrified. I ain't gonna lie.
I always try to trust my gut.
So I went with my gut feeling, and here we
Yeah.
are 4 years later.
Well, all I can say is better you than me, because I friended him on Facebook too, and that would have been really bad.
Ooh, baby.
Tammy.
You wanna go find some nuggets, big boy?
Yes, everybody, every one of you.
Let's
on
go.
this-
You know what? You're all invited. If you ever want to come out here and find
I was gonna ask you about that. Do you do classes like for hire or anything like that? Do you do? No.
In Arizona and on all of the BLM land, it is against the law to take somebody out and do nugget hunting tours on your private claim. If you read the mining laws, it tells you right in there you can't make money any other way except through the mineral recovery. And it's also illegal to take anybody out on BLM land without a outfitter's license and a huge insurance.
I can't wait to see you
Yeah.
next time. I was reading.
Yeah, I see you.
I can take
see
my
you.
friends anywhere I want.
Right. I see you had our buddy. Yeah, I see you had our buddy Brian with you. You had our buddy Brian with you here last week or the week before, down there with you, Brian.
Yeah. He's down here now.
Well, he was a client. He was a friend and he bought a monster off you, right?
Yes,
he did.
And I saw him yesterday, and I said hi to him at the post office. We had a nice chat.
Oh, is he still there?
Oh, Brian's a great guy. I had the
Oh, yeah,
privilege of meeting him in Vermont.
Right. We went prospecting with him in Vermont.
Yep.
We do outings. I do free outings a couple times a year. Mine Lab gets involved in my November outing. And then we do another one in March, which is kind of low key and just more of a hang out and go nugget hunting type outing.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
we
not
might
as
have
big
to-
as the November one.
We might have to do a flash raid, huh, Ed?
Flash
so-
raid.
I try to get people out here and do free training.
Little Arizona trip.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Flash raid in
Next
Arizona.
winter.
Big time.
Do it before late April or early May, because we hit 100 by May 3rd.
Oh, and it can get to 117 and more, so it can be brutal.
Right. Yeah,
No,
we
not
hear
July, David.
Yeah, right?
we hear Swifty all the time complaining about how hot it is.
Oh yeah, good old Swiftwater.
No, I'm serious. I'd like to see you three guys come out here and maybe
would
do a
be
nugget hunt one
awesome.
day and a little bit of
That
collaboration.
would be fun.
Yeah, I would
Get
be.
on that, Ed.
Oh, We'll start working on it. California, Arizona, the Western tour.
You bet.
If nothing else, you'll find relics like some square nails.
I
and crap.
mean, yeah.
Gotta dig the trash to find the treasure.
Victoria's Oregon or bus. Mickey, she goes, you have to get up before dawn, Jesse. Me and you wouldn't make it.
Okay, well, are y'all talking about being hot out here? Is what y'all saying right now? Are they talking about? Oh, I couldn't hear clearly, but
No.
you're talking about how hot it is out here.
She was talking about how old we are.
Oh, I'm getting up there myself, by the way.
Okay.
But anyway, I know y'all are gonna call me baby. Whatever.
She's 22.
Yeah, I'm 22.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's times we get up
Tell them how old you
at 2 or 3 a.m. when it's hot to go out hunting, so you have to be home by 7 a.m. because
Right.
it's so freaking hot that
Right.
I can't take it. I don't like the heat. I mean, I come from Virginia; it's a very humid state and very hot.
Right. Well,
It's a very dry state.
when I was younger, and I lived in Houston, Texas, did roofing, hot mop roofing at that. You did it early in the morning. You were done by 10 o'clock.
Yes, because you will melt on that roof.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I did roofing here, okay? And
Yeah.
we had to get off the roof by about then because you were sliding the shingles. You were taking the top off the shingles. All the little gravel was coming off and sliding down the thing.
Actually, when I lived in Bullhead Riviera area, we would start at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And work with lights and quit about 10, 11-ish. Siesta time.
Than here.
Yeah. Work sucks when it's hot. I'd rather be playing.
I agree.
Okay, they're talking to each other. So, okay, what's been your scariest time out there? Since we're having a lag in questions. Out there, metal detecting out in the desert. Anything happened that was scary to you?
He's had an experience.
Oh,
I have not really.
I was in a wash. A wash is a dry creek bed here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have them back where you're from unless you got a drought. But here they're dry most of the year, and then
we just call them
toilet when it rains hard. But I'm up in this bouldery creek up by Richville, and I got a nice target. I hadn't dug any trash. I had 2 nuggets in my pouch, and I got a beautiful target. And I'm getting ready to start digging it, and I hear like that, and I go, I didn't pay much attention to it, and I kept digging. I heard it again. I go, that sounds like a tomcat. And I was looking up, and no more than from me to her right now, there was a mountain lion. Look at
Mountain lion.
Yikes.
I could see this lion so close. It was so beautiful. The eyes, you know how like
you
got the iris around it? The iris was moving. As it focused on me, I had a gun on my side and a pick in my hand. And I knew I was a dead man. Okay. I looked up at this cat and it's looking at me, but there was no threat there. And I wasn't that scared. I just figured it was it, you know.
I don't know.
And I looked at the cat, it looked at me. I took a step back, and the darn cat took a step back. 1 step back. Okay. I went to take another step back, and this story's up on my. I tell the story.
I heard it.
I wrote about it too. But I went to take another step back, and I looked back because there was boulders back there. I looked back up, and the darn cat was gone. I went,
hey.
To this day, I don't know why. One of the ranchers told me it probably had cubs, and that's the reason it didn't jump me. Because I wasn't.
Or you probably scared it as much as it scared you. It come walking over the edge and sees you there. He goes, "Oh shit, there's somebody there," and he goes, "Oh shit, he sees me. He's looking right at me. I'm gonna step back."
Yeah, the truth is, if you're being stalked by a cat, chances are it stalked you for over a half hour before you ever saw it, and you're toast.
Right. If it's stalking you, that doesn't mean they can't walk up on you without it realizing you're there also. Just like you can walk up on it suddenly, it can do the same thing because, it's thinking about the next meal or whatever.
Back
You
home
know?
in
And that's why I
Washington.
got lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky because it wasn't looking for a meal and you weren't a threat, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Now
Like
everybody
back
worries about
home.
rattlesnakes out here. It's funny. Anybody that's been a hunter for any period of time, deer,
Rattlesnake.
whatever, understands that if you concentrate on an animal and it will somehow know you're doing that. And you have to kind of see you're getting it. Okay. When you walk up on a snake, most times just looking at you, just going, God, I hope he don't notice me. And as long as you don't focus on it, they don't get excited. But it's a trip. First time you focus on a rattlesnake, it does the coil up thing and starts doing the tongue and starts rattling at you because it senses the change in your temperature.
Right.
So we don't have trouble with rattlesnakes.
Well,
And then if they sense that you're stalking them, they're gonna try to get away. If they sense that you're looking for them, if you're walking by, as long as you don't step on them and you don't notice them, more than likely they're gonna leave you alone. But if you notice them and just like you're sensitive to their being there, they are to you. In fact, they feel you way before you see them.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. Stepping on a snake, you will levitate. Okay. Like stepping on a cow pie. You ever step on a cow pie?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what snake feels like. And then you look down and you just like go straight up in the air like 3 feet and you move over and drop.
That's funny because my wife actually stepped on a corn snake that somehow had gotten into the back hallway. And
in your house?
Yeah, in our house.
Uh-huh.
She stepped on it. She thought it was a rattler, but it wasn't. It was a corn snake. But it was big. And I'm going, how the hell did it get in here, But she said she stepped on it and she could feel it moving. That's how you can tell the difference. You actually feel it moving. It's a cow patty that moves.
Yeah.
I have never seen a rattlesnake when I've been out detecting, but I have watched them in my yard. I watched one, slither under my house. So I mean, they're around. They get near the chicken coop, but overall, the bull snake takes over. So, but
I catch them and let them go.
I have never seen one out in the desert while detecting, and I don't want to disturb it. So, no.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for snakes. I don't like being around them, but I'm not going to kill them just because they're around either.
I agree with you with that.
They do serve a purpose.
All right, now guys, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this on your show or not, but I'm going to give something away.
Oh,
and this is something pretty cool.
Well, I don't know. I don't think
you
anybody
guys got to
would like
pick the winner, and it can't be one of you three.
My address is.
I don't know how you do this, but look.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
well,
nice. Oh, really cool.
Let me break out the Nightbot. Brian, no guessing numbers.
No numbers, just comment. Oh, Nugget brains out.
You guys
Pick a
decide
number,
who you
you're
want
out.
me to send this to, and you let me know when this is over, and it'll be coming. So 1 ounce.
Brian's out.
Brian's always out.
Brian's always out. So what we do is we let the people comment, make a comment in here.
I'm getting the
And gets his
Nightbot
Nightbot
ready.
out.
I'm getting it
Chat,
ready.
folks.
So, unfortunately, the three of us aren't eligible, so that's fine.
Well,
That's a beautiful round. It sure is.
Yeah, it's a 1 in a million too. Whoever gets this ain't going to see another one.
Oh, nice.
Another look at it.
Everybody gets another look. See the other side.
Here's the other side.
Got a road runner on it.
Oh, nice. Roadrunner.
Yep.
huh. Come on, Nightbot.
Wake him up.
Joe Sassacona says, send it my way.
I'm trying to wake him up.
I'll be your huckleberry. I'd be liking huckleberries.
Well, while I'm doing this, I want to interject a little about cougars. Like back home in Washington State, that's I wasn't afraid of the bears and stuff because I knew if a cougar stalked me back there, I'd never see him by the time he attacked me.
Right.
It'd be from above on the neck.
That's the nature of cats.
Yeah, you can ask him. I have said many times, especially when we go in some certain places that it's really, a lot of hills above me and not so flat as can be. And I'm like, I think about sometimes when I'm metal detecting, what if a cat is looking at me while I'm doing that? So I get a little freaked out, but I'm like, please don't eat me. I mean, I don't want. It's a little scary.
Right. Let me say hi to a couple of people just come in. Ron for the Hills
Right.
just came in. Thomas Folks, how you doing?
Hi, Dolly.
Oz,
Oh, sorry.
Oz Art, how are you tonight, buddy?
Dolly.
Who else? I saw somebody else here. I said hi to Thomas. And the other Ed, I didn't say hi to the other Ed.
I gotta say, well, hello, Dolly.
I know, I love that girl. Sorry.
Dolly.
Dolly
Hello.
Brown.
Oh, Dal Brown.
Yes.
Hi,
All
Dal.
right.
Welcome.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I want to say hi to everybody individually, but I can't do it. And I know
I know.
probably over half of you.
I've been trying to read as we're talking, and it's like this is kind of hard to do.
Hey, if you feel you need to give someone a shout out, give it to them. We're in for that. No big deal.
All right, Grody Gold. That's one.
Dolly.
Grotty Gold, yeah,
Grody Gold. Yeah.
Grody Gold, is that what it is?
Are you talking about Grody Gold prospect?
Yeah, out of Australia.
yeah.
For everybody.
Clayton County History Hound.
Outdoorsy gal.
Scotty's in here. Steven.
Diggin.
Hey.
Flash in your pan.
Kazzy Adventures. Outdoorsy gal. Jeez, man, I could go on for an hour.
Steve Shovelhead. Hi.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Look, I'm waving.
Yeah, that's our other Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Hello, everyone. And thank you so much. I mean, it's crazy. I've never done this before, but it's been fun.
That's kind of a small world, isn't it? A lot of your friends are our friends.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know what? When I was building my channel, you were one of the first channels I nailed. And
nice. Hey, I
started learning about support between YouTubers and
Right.
It's a great community.
how we all fit.
right.
Like a pizza pie. You know, and it's funny. And it may be small slices in that big pie, but we're all fit in there.
That's
we all
right.
have something to offer each other.
Absolutely.
You guys have been really good to the community as far as throwing people out there to be stepped on.
Wait a minute.
And
I don't want to forget. Thing. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Digging Canuck.
Liz.
I love her.
Joe Sassaconas has a question for Bill.
Okay.
Bill, Gold Monster 1000 ground balance, pump or swing, or does it make a difference?
Pump faster, swing slower.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's what she said.
Pump it. You want to give it an area about this big and move around that whole area. It's got a 24-bit microprocessor. That's an important thing. We've never had that before. That's new, it's exciting, and it's aggravating. Okay, so if you stand still with that machine, it's going to ground balance to the place you're standing still. If you're holding it up and we're talking, it's going to ground balance to the freaking air. Well, I've never seen a gold nugget in the air.
Wow.
You got to come back down and balance it. The newer machines have a function to where you can hold down the center button and it'll click one time and it's a fast balance. It's better if you swing, it's going to keep you balanced. But when you're swinging along and you hear the machine make a little extra noise, it pays to pump a few times real quick. And that it's always pump with that, but never pump in one spot. Always give it a taste of the ground.
I learned that.
And that's one of the biggest messages that I said. That machine, when it first came out, I'll tell a story. I hope it don't piss Kevin off too much. But, Kevin Hoagland's a good friend of mine. And,
yeah, we like Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a sweetheart. I've known him a long time, but through our biker years and the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go out with the Gold Monster when it first came out. And it's all over the place. It wouldn't ground balance. It's just a piece of crap. Okay, and you've seen some of the early videos from Australia that said the same thing. So Kevin goes back and writes an article said in the GPA magazine. And then he calls Peter Farnsworth up at Charlesworth up in my lab and goes, "Hey, this machine's all over the place. We can't get a ground balance." Everyone went quiet. And all of a sudden he heard, "You're doing it wrong, Mike."
No.
He kept going, "I've been detecting for all these years." He goes, "Yeah, you've got something very new in your hands." So back out we went with two gold monsters and compared them. And I was very impressed. And I have had a gold bug 2 forever. It's one of the most wicked little gold machines ever built and still is. But the gold monster will walk circles around it. And if you're good with a gold bug 2, you might think, yeah, well, I'd stick with this, and you probably can. But the gold monster with that 24-bit processor will hear the tiniest stuff. I have to actually wet my finger and pick it up out of the screen.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
No, that's pretty
Now,
small.
how's the Gold Bug Pro?
The Goldbug Pro is a wonderful machine, but it's a 19 kilohertz machine. Okay, so it's not going to hear that tiny stuff.
Okay.
Kilohertz are important, and the Goldbug Pro will hear bigger nuggets deeper than the Goldbug 2. Absolutely, because the Goldbug 2 is 71 kilohertz, and the Gold Monster with a microprocessor is basically a 45 kilohertz machine, but it's able to scan different settings and set itself up so it can hear the smallest gold out there. I think the Nocta is a 50 something kilohertz machine, excellent machine. And the new white is a wonderful machine out there. So, but in my opinion, Gold Monster 1000, if you want to get a machine, it's the first machine since the early 2000s that I could sell to somebody and they have a Nugget.
Cool. There you go. Let me say a quick shout out to Gary and Doris Lawson. Welcome.
Definitely.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Nightbot's working now.
All right, we got Nightbot going.
We only have 28 eligible. Come on, people.
Yeah,
There's
there's
41
already
of
How
you.
many people I got to go check out is freaking me out.
I know.
Yeah,
We got at least 37 people eligible. Come on, there's 40 in the room. Knock out
let's
Ed,
see,
me, and Dano.
41. It's
Please don't
in.
make me keep this coin though. You got to give it away.
It says 28.
Oh wait, another look.
I don't know how y'all gonna work it out.
No
but
numbers.
figure
No
it out.
numbers. Oh, I do have it.
I say do it. Refresh and do it, Ed.
29 eligible.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 29
Brian, I'm pretty sure you've
eligible.
already asked him that question.
Well, I got somebody asking if I've ever
Brian.
dredged.
It's
That's Brian.
Okay. Yes. I don't like being wet. It might have something to do with all my biker years.
He's
I don't
kind
know.
of like a cat, y'all.
Yeah. I don't like just laying there wet and vacuuming. And I could probably get more gold in some places, but not here in Arizona. So learning gold prospecting in Arizona, we have like 3 places we can dredge in the whole state. And otherwise they're protecting frogs or snails or some stupid fish. And we can't do it during the best times of the year. So I picked dry washing, and once I started finding gold with a detector, I don't even pick up a number 2 shovel unless I'm doing something in the yard.
And I'm Aquarius, so I would like to do some water dredging or sniping or something. I think that'd be awesome. So I come from a lot of water back in Virginia, and I came out here, and it's so dry.
That's a big
yeah.
difference, huh? That's a whole new
It
world.
was major difference.
How long
but-
you
Blueberry
been there?
pancakes. Somebody said blueberry pancakes.
Luke says he had blueberry pancakes today.
That's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be having
How long,
pancakes
Tammy,
every
how long you
night.
been in
I've had those
Arizona?
for 10 years.
I can't hear, honey. What? I couldn't.
How long you been in Arizona?
4 years.
4 years. Oh,
Since
see,
1978.
Yeah.
you've been
came
there
out
for a
here-
while too.
I came out here, found out I could ride my motorcycle year round, and that was that.
Where are you from, Bill?
Illinois, DeKalb, Illinois.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Well, Nightbot's working. We have 32 eligible out of 44. I guess we'll do numbers this time. When I say go, not before, Brian. 0 through 50.
You said 17 or 58. Which one? 27. Oh.
I said not now, Brian.
Wait till he types in go.
Wait, eager beavers, I swear.
This is a
All right.
great show.
All right.
What about number 44? No, just joking.
Go.
What do you
There's not 44 people.
Oh,
What do you want to ask, Mike? I didn't see your question.
0 through 50. Go.
Bye.
It's buried by letter and numbers.
Oh.
look at them all coming up now.
Wow.
I know.
I guess I better show them one more time, huh?
Or 14. 14's a good number.
Wow, no one's guessed it yet, huh?
Oh, wait.
Well, I'm glad you know what it is because I don't.
Okay, other side.
Well, when someone guesses it, I'm dancing around it.
It's spinning.
Oh.
And it's uncirculated in plastic.
Nice.
I hear it spinning.
You want to mess it up, you got to break the plastic.
Oh, wait, wonder why it didn't pick it. I saw it.
Uh-oh.
There it is. There it is. Coils to the soil.
Awesome.
And let me move it over so they can see right there.
Send me an address at southerndesert1@gmail.com.
Congratulations, Corso.
Tell you what, Bill, so I know them, so I'll send you the address.
Okay.
They're
Don't
still
want.
picking numbers.
Yeah.
So you can stop picking numbers.
I'll send it to you
Chrissy.
if you want. You can give it to them.
Oh no, I'll get their addresses. They were good guests on our show too.
Bill, BC has a question. Bill, what's the best detector for kids to start using for relics?
Was it that?
For a kid, I would say the MindLab Vanquish 340, the Garrett Ace, probably 150 or 250. And those are probably my best two choices. I like the Bounty Hunter for beginners, but it's it doesn't have the same abilities as Garrett or the MindLab. And MindLab's new to the low end market. Usually they were always high dollars. So
I'm sorry.
that would be my call, either the Garrett, one of the Garrett Ace series or the MindLab 340 or 440.
So for me, if I was getting a young kid one, I would get them something in the lower end just so.
But like
In
a Go
case- in
Find
case-
40 or something.
Or even the Ace 300 or any of the Aces, like you said. And
Yeah.
if they don't get into it, you're not throwing away a bunch of money, and it's a good enough machine to help where they could easily get into it.
Yeah, you
they're-
want something with very few settings
Right,
and settings that are understandable for a young
Right.
kid,
right.
male or female. And once they
Yep.
get stuck, they're stuck. And if you give them something that's too complicated, they're going to get frustrated and don't want to play no more.
Right. About 8 to 10 seconds now you got to be able to explain something to them. And if you
Yeah,
can't,
take
if
away the
you,
fascination of finding something.
right. So would you suggest then if you were to say, like, take a kid who was excited about it, but you didn't, and you knew him, and you know if he didn't find something right away, he would just forget about it, get frustrated like we do. Uh, would you do take him to a seated hunt, or maybe seed a hunt for him or her, just so that they
No,
can find something and get the feel
that's
of
a
it?
wonderful question, my friend. Um,
I agree.
I train a lot of people. I have never planted a nugget without telling the person I planted
Right.
it. So my theory would be take somebody out, you're training them, and then you draw a circle in the ground, 25 feet round, 10 feet round, or 3 feet round, whatever you want to do, and say, there's a good target in that spot. And what you'll learn is people slow way down. They're not out there doing this. They slow way down because you told them there's something right there.
Right.
And
So,
as far as seeding something and not telling somebody, oh man, there's first things in life like driving a car, the first time you get an A in school, the first kiss you get from a girl or a guy. Um, you don't want to cheat somebody and make them find something they didn't find.
right. In
And
other words,
that's
you don't want
important to
them.
me.
Yeah, you don't want them to get that first kiss from that girl and find out she was dared to do it.
Yes.
You
And
know.
well, it makes sense, right?
Right. No, that makes sense. But I think seeding it, and like
A
what you
seeded
said.
hunt that everybody knows is a seeded hunt is a great thing.
Right.
So that probably, I agree. I think taking a kid to one of the a sponsored seeded hunt by a club or something like that is the best. I mean, set the detector up for them, turn them loose.
Right. Cool. I have to remember that. I'm going to take my wife to a seated hunt.
Yeah,
And
Colton
well,
uses
teaches.
my Go Find
I mean,
40.
yeah, I agree.
Hey, Jim, brother, how you doing, James?
I'm totally against if you plant a nugget because I'll get mad.
Yeah. Look at all.
See, James says, "Hey Jess, I got my 9-year-old a Go Find 40, and she loves it. Did she find stuff right away?
Go find.
Yeah.
Oh, why make me answer that question?
No. I was reading James Van Cleef's
Oh,
comment up here. Says he got one for his 9-year-old, and she loves it.
yes.
I was just asking if she loves it because she found stuff, or just because she just loves doing it. No response yet, but yeah. What were you going to say
The
about
Go
that?
Find series was a good series from Mind Lab, but it was designed for children. To play on the beach when you're sitting there with the wife and watching the waves and the kids bugging you about wanting this and that, you hand them the Go Find and let them go find stuff. And it's a great machine for that. I tried Tammy out on it at first.
But
It's too
I was
short.
a little too tall for it, and I'm only 5'5". So,
But you're not saying it's a toy though, right?
I think it's good for children.
Yeah, it's not a. Oh man, you know what? I'm a Mind Lab guy and regularly bash them, but it's one of the machines along with
I'm
the
not bashing any book.
along with the
say
there's a couple series
use
I
what
didn't
you
really
like.
care for that they put out
Mhm.
because of hype and it didn't make sense, and other companies do that too. The Go Find series was a great series for children, but they showed adults using it and stuff, and it's just not.
Not really there for that,
No, I tried. That's just my
right?
opinion.
Well,
I'm allowed to have
not
an
every
opinion,
not
so-
not every product that somebody puts out is going to be hitting a home run. You know,
You know, another
some.
one, Detector series. It was a wonderful coin relic machine.
Mhm.
But as far as them saying that it was a wonderful gold nugget machine, it failed, in my opinion.
James says, yeah, she finds stuff every time we go out. Cool.
Yeah, it's a good machine. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Of course, now he'll have to upgrade for her as she gets older because she's going to want something better.
Yeah, but suddenly with all the new technology, MindLab, Garrett, White's, Fisher have so many more options to offer to the public. And I guess the responsibility comes on to us to do some research before you just jump on a machine and buy it.
Right.
Some clown on the internet says it's the best out there. That's not necessarily true.
Right. Well, we all
It's
know
more
that,
important
and
to do the research and find a machine that fits you, kind of like buying underwear.
right.
Right.
Right. We all know that advertising fluffs their products, makes them better than what they say. And all advertising is that way. So you have to look at it and go, okay, that sounds good. Let me research this. Let me look at the comments or what other people have said about it.
And on top of that, is there a dealer near me that will let me try one?
Right. Oh yeah.
Most of us will. Most good dealers out there will let you come waltzing into their shop and grab a detector and go out and hunt in the backyard. I mean, and I get in trouble from other dealers for saying this, but if I can't offer you that opportunity, how can you make a good decision? What, based on what I say?
Right.
You're buying me groceries. I want more groceries. Okay, so I'm going to try to say something unexpected in half the cases.
Right. I want groceries today, and I want groceries tomorrow.
Right. And the next day.
Right.
You're selling them a good machine and let them make a choice. It's about letting the customer make the choice, not forcing them to make a choice. It's what I've learned from all this, anyway.
Well, it sounds like you're the dealer to go to, Bill.
He is. I agree.
And where would you do that at?
Well, I'm one of them. Okay. And yeah.
Well, we got Doc Detecting.
You can call it humble
Vegas.
wherever you want, but there's other dealers out there like Doc's Detecting.
Yes.
I'll give him a shout out in Vegas. He'll train you. Rob's Detector Sales here in Arizona. He's only about 30 miles from me. He'll train you. There's several other companies out there. Jerry's Detectors in Idaho. And these guys are all multi-line dealers, but they will take the time to make you understand your machine. And that's worth $1 million. Okay. If you got a machine, you're new to it, and you're not sure if you're doing it right. I always like to make people unpack their machine, take it out, get frustrated, then come to me and go, I need help. Okay. Best thing that can happen is I take them out there and I just look at them funny and go, you're doing it right. That's worth $1 million.
Right.
Person.
That's all well good.
Their confidence tells them they're doing it right.
Right. I'm glad you appreciate the other dealers, but really give yourself a shout out right now because it's about you. And if any of our Flash fam want to check you out, we want to give them that opportunity. So where can we get a hold of you at for?
Do you have a website or anything?
Right.
Lots of them. Okay, I've got my main website is nuggetshooter.com. Okay, and there you'll find my forum, you'll find my store, you'll find articles, you'll find a bunch of stuff. Okay, then I got Nugget Shooter Journals, which is my YouTube channel.
Right.
There you're going to find free training. You're going to find, I'll answer any darn question you ask. I actually sit here for hours sometimes and answer every single comment I get on my videos. Okay, and I'm going to try to do that as I go, but it's getting pretty tough, but it's worth it to me because you guys are the ones that support me. I guess that's about it. You can get a hold of me at Southern Desert One at gmail.com or nuggetshooter@outlook.com. And we do training with every machine we sell. And I know a lot of people go, I didn't know you were a dealer. Or you know what? I don't go online to sell you a machine. I go online to teach you how to use a machine you already own, whether I sell it or not.
Well, you at least got to try to sell them. I mean, that's your business, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now it's funny. with this new virus that's going on, I can't even get machines right now from anybody.
Well, that can be true, you know. Let me real quick say a special shout out to one of our good buddies here, all the way from Juneau,
Ray
Alaska.
Russo.
Ray Russo, what's up, Ray? He's our Santa Claus.
Bad
Like a
Santa.
grumpy, nasty Santa Claus.
He's the bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Bad,
Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
hello, Ray. Shout out to Ray.
Yeah, shout out to Ray.
Victoria's
Uh,
Oregon. Hello or bust. She's been
yes.
supporting me a long, long
I
time.
know. And she asked, or Snap, are the machines made in? Yeah, they're in China.
No, the machines
the
are made.
components.
Minelab machines, for the most part, are made in Malaysia right
Yeah.
Malaysia.
Components come from China and elsewhere. Like anybody else, you do that to increase. I mean, you go to any company, they're doing the same thing. We are having trouble right now getting parts from China because China is actually doing the right thing and not shipping right now. So
Right.
pretty much all
They're not
the-
shipping and we're not accepting right now either. So
No.
it's
You know
it's-
what?
it
This
is
is
what
a
it is
practice
for now.
run. I hate to say this, and I could go all political about it because there's a lot of hubbub going on. But I think it's a practice run. There's a lot of people on this planet Earth right
Boy,
now.
who hasn't said that?
Okay, well, if the right one comes along, we could be in a lot of trouble. So maybe this is a test run.
Let's see what they'll really do.
Exactly. I think it'll blow over in 2 months, and they're going to fight about it during the election. That's my
Mhm.
thought.
Yeah.
And if not,
Yeah.
then we'll just be prepared and fight like warriors if we have to.
And if you can ever count on a country to fight like a warrior, it's going to be this country.
This is the one.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I always say about us fighting, there we go, us fighting other wars is we can't fight to give someone else their freedom. They have to fight for their own freedom the way we did. We fought for our own freedom. Yes, we had help, but we fought for our own freedom. We can't hand somebody their freedom. You know, we can teach them how to fight for their freedom, but they inevitably have to do it themselves. Like, you know,
I like metal detecting. Learn
Yeah,
your
pretty
machine.
much.
learn your machine. That's right. Now they learn. Now the government has learned its machine. Okay, let's get off of that.
Victoria's Oregon or bust. Oh, that'd be awesome if you come dig with us. I'm reading. That's awesome.
Says show an old beachcomber how to
Right,
dig the
party.
desert.
I love that song.
That's the Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys.
Run for the hills mining. Right on, man.
My favorite.
On for the hill.
I was just gonna say, you didn't give him a shout out, Ed.
I know that was soft.
Oh no, he's got the corona. But it's about that time, and it's really been fun having you tonight. I don't see any new questions. Okay, here's one. Alaska Mike. He says, I was looking to get a new detector, but I ended up having to get another gun. I thought we had a question there for a second. I should have read it first.
I think we wore them out, man.
I think so. Says best show tonight.
There's
Wow,
Golden
loved
Adventures,
it.
Raven and
Thank you, Raven.
Snack Rock again. Thanks, guys.
I believe you met them at your outing.
Yes, I did. I loved her. She was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Way to go,
super
Ray.
chat. Thank you very much for the super chat, Ray.
And Victoria,
Lodak.
they made your night and you made our night for being here because we need to have you here.
Yeah,
I
our
want to thank everybody for their support,
Yes,
man, and
this-
support of you guys.
I-
You guys are doing a service,
Yes.
okay? And you're like me, you're humble. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
I'm just,
You
yeah,
know,
I'm
but-
going, no, not even
Dude,
close, dude.
You guys are doing so good, man. I really appreciate the invite because I'm kind of honored by that because you don't pick up a lot of dirt, okay? So you do good, and you've supported a lot of people on here. I've always respected that. Kudos.
Just the Tuesday Night Hangout.
And just a
Thank you.
Tuesday night hangout.
That's what we do, and we're all fingers in the hand, the treasure
Yep.
hat in hand, and we all have our role. I love the Flash fam. They're great.
Yeah, and I always, when people say that to me, anyways, I don't know how Dano and Ed feel about it. I feel really humbled because I don't feel that we're all that big. We're not, we're just on here having fun.
Yeah.
I don't feel, to me, it doesn't feel like we're making any kind of difference. But I also know that's just my feelings. Other people feel different.
I'm glad people enjoy it.
Yes,
And
and
tell you you're doing something good, man. Listen to it because you are.
Just like we got our outing last
Thank
year. And
you,
everybody
Bill.
showed up. Good time.
right, and the fact that they come back every week to our show to hang out tells me that what I'm feeling. No, you should have a little pride in what you're doing because you are doing something good, and that goes for you too, Bill. I mean, your educational films are awesome, dude. I mean, keep them up. That's what it's about.
I'll
I mean,
keep
let's-
doing as long as I can, man. Thank you so much for inviting me because,
Yes,
like I
thank-
said, I
And
got a lot of
thank you.
respect for you folks.
No, well, we have a lot of respect for what you do too, and your videos. Like I said, to me, teachers are they're it.
A cool thing for you is you get to watch her start from the beginning and go forward. And that
Yeah.
it helps to show people that they can do what we do. You just gotta work.
Absolutely.
It was,
Definitely.
I don't even know what to say, but in the beginning, I was like, I'm not going to metal detect. It took me a year and a half, but then I ended up doing it with him, and I tried it out, and now look at me 2.5 years almost later. But I mean, I'm nothing like him yet, the legend.
No,
But
The
don't worry,
legend.
I won't be far
no,
behind.
I'm not.
No, I learned a lot from him, and I want to find the gold, man.
Dude, all you got to do is say Bill Southern and everybody knows who you are. People
I
know who
know.
you are. People know who you are. I mean,
Good or bad.
He's awesome.
regardless, they know you're right.
We
No,
do
so-
have a question from Jim from Coils
I
to
will
the
tell
Soil. What part of Virginia are you from?
I am from Matulka, Ettrick, Petersburg, Virginia. The area of Ettrick, Matulka, and Petersburg, which I'm sure you know a little bit about, right?
No.
I don't.
Really? So nobody knows where Petersburg, Virginia is, where all the
Well, yeah, but tell us about it.
Well, in Petersburg, Virginia, that's most of your Civil War relics are going to come from.
Oh,
Right.
I mean, because it came from the Civil War. Like, really? I mean, we have a lot of that down south Virginia.
But she didn't hunt there.
No, I've never
Ever.
I've never metal detected until I came out here finding gold. But
so
now
I
I-
know the feeling. I grew up in Southern California, lived in Arizona and a bunch of other places, and I didn't start prospecting till after I moved up to Washington.
You gotta
And-
be kidding. You grew up by Randsburg in that area and never hunted.
I grew up in Anaheim,
Oh,
and so I was close to a lot, even down there. And I was too busy ditching school, surfing, and chasing bikinis. Then if I only knew the prospector way then. At
Yeah,
least
that's
I
what
would
I
have been
feel.
finding gold ditching school.
Or I
Yeah.
could have founded great relics from Virginia. You
Well,
know?
yeah, they got a lot of history there,
Or gold. There's gold there too, I'm learning.
right? Yes, there is.
So don't you worry. I got a plan.
Brian from American Gold Prospectors.
American! Yes, I like your moonshine, buddy. I enjoyed it.
What did he say?
About
He
the-
already knew that
Right.
answer.
Keep that stuff away from us.
Yeah, dude.
She says, "Yeah, dude, bring me some more. Bring me some more."
Please. Yeah, let's just psychedelic properties.
I don't know what it's got, but it was crazy. I enjoyed it though. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, I did, David, but that was not Sperry Farm. I was still too busy concentrating on girls. The only reason why I went to Disneyland and not. They were our nightclub before I turned 18.
Right.
All right. It's been a totally awesome 2 hours. Phil, Tammy, if you would, please stay on a bit while we wrap this up, if you would. I'm going to show you all for this. Dano, show your mug.
No.
Show your mug.
I would love to come back.
Would love to have you two
I'd
back,
be
Phil.
honored.
I'm honored and humbled.
Oh, no.
that
I'm
you-
honored.
Oh, no, no.
No. Come on now.
Okay, we're all humbled. We're here
You're the
together.
superstar
We're
here.
humbled. We're honored. And it's been a great show, man.
Oh, man. Awesome show. Awesome guest. Thank you all for being such an awesome family. The Flash Fam, the #1 on YouTube. I have to say it. Love you all. Next week, we're having Metal Detecting Alaska with Keithie 6.
Keithie.
Gonna be another great show. I hope to see you there. Until then, may you always have a flash in your pan.
And you know what he's going to say next.
That's
Humbly,
right,
of course.
brothers. Humbly, because you know it does happen. Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you out in the desert, on the river, or in the field. Good night, everybody. God bless. Be safe.
Good night.
Don't
You know it's going to
panic.
happen because it's
Thank
happened
you,
to more than one of
everybody.
you.
It's been so cool for my first live stream. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
by the way, nice beard, dude.
Love you.
Five, 4, 3, 2.